Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
Ryan Seymour, king of Comic Town in Columbus, Ohio.
Biggity boom, and we're about to drop for y'all our reads, our reviews for the week of May 4th. May the 4th be with you. That's right. Mm-hmm. As we lead into Free Comic Book Day weekend, this is going to be some good stuff. I can't wait. Oh, let's jump in.
Where do we begin?
Right. Okay, so... Actually, no. Before we get started, we have to acknowledge the passing of Neil Adams, a absolute legend in the comic world.
Iconic.
Yeah,
iconic.
Like, I mean, this is one of those weird things. It's a weird question. Where were you when you found out?
I was here.
Okay.
And it was initially a message in one of my meme groups.
Okay.
And I was like, what? And
what are you talking about? Right. Like I was at Comic-Con, right? Fan Expo Cleveland, which was a great show. And you could just feel the wave of people finding out. And it was just like a cloud over everything. But, I mean, when you're talking about tremendous talent, one of the biggest voices in the industry, changed the game when it came to rights for creators.
Yeah, because he was very much an advocate.
Very much so. So he will truly be missed. He was a wonderful, wonderful man. My story, I actually have a Neil Adams story.
Oh, go.
So, I call myself hardest working man in comics. I actually had a banner that said that.
Yeah.
This was a Wizard World Chicago. I can't recall what year. But Neil, we were like across from each other. And like he's walking to his table and he sees my banner. And he stops and he gives it the eye. And I can already tell him like, I'm getting ready to get Neil Adams. Like I know I'm going to get kneeled up. It's going to happen. Yeah. Oh, he's going to kneel me to a tree. And he walks over to me and he goes, hardest working man in comics? I think that's me. And just on a dime, okay, I spit it real quick. I said, no, Neil, you're the best working man in comics. And he just kind of stops and he smiles and he goes, I like that. You're right. And he just walks onto the table. And I was like, I've survived, okay? Yeah. I've convinced Neil that I'm allowed to say that. No one else can challenge me whatsoever.
It's done. It's written in stone.
Recognized. So phenomenal talent, wonderful guy, truly will be missed. Like the industry is a darker place because of it. But... this does leave a challenge. Who could be the next Neil Adams of our industry?
Oh, that's tough.
I know, right?
Because it's more than just the art.
Right. Who can champion creators' rights, creator opportunities? Yeah. I think that's going to be one of the more interesting things to come about this, to see who is willing to step up and say, this needs to be the new voice of the next generation of comic creators. Will it be you? That's the question. Okay, so let's get into it. Yes. On our good reads that you should read, we have all the same.
Yes, all the same.
Which rarely happens, but when it does, it's for good reason. These are the worst of the best.
Right, which is still really
good books. Yeah. Like this was solid. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to talk about first?
I would say the most high-minded, high concept.
Okay.
Would be Metal Society.
Let's do it.
And that's what Zach Kaplan is doing the writings.
Yes. Zach, we love you. Clearly have followed a lot of your AfterShock stuff. You've bounced over to Top Cow, to be specific on this one. Which I would love to know, like, why? Like, what?
Yeah, was there a pitch made?
Right. Or is it just a matter of spreading out your name so that it has that much more value, so that it's not just tied to one imprint, which I think is kind of brilliant. In this one, we are in a futuristic world with the backdrop of a fighting sports event.
Yeah.
Now, who the players are becomes a very interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And how we get there, which you will really see at the end, becomes an even more interesting conversation. I felt like this is definitely a commentary book.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it very much is. It's using humans and robots as placeholders for other
many things. Super good. Okay, so we've got Zach Kaplan on the writing and Guilherme Balbi. I'm hoping I'm saying that right.
Team up with Marco Olesko. The art and the color is just
fire,
just crazy. Like, does this combo like end up working for a big company at some point?
I don't see how not. Like,
because they're panel work, especially this scene right here.
Come on, man!
Where it pulls you along. Yeah, it's not a basic panel structure.
No. This is, we are literally seeing the next level in the making right here. These guys are firing on all cylinders. They're working together perfectly, and they're crafting a story that is very compelling, very interesting, and very moving. Like I love what it's setting up.
Because it makes me, I need to know how things got to that point.
Yes. So it's like, I don't even know how to say this. It's like The Matrix meets Rocky is how I feel about it.
Yeah, because there's definitely, I'm trying to figure out how to really talk about it without spoiling stuff.
It's almost impossible. But it's definitely something that you should be picking up just because it's such an interesting story, and one of those that you could miss it, right? Like, because if you don't know anything about what this is, you could just kind of look at it like, oh, it's a cool cover, and just keep moving. This is a really good story starting off, and I dig it a whole bunch.
And this fight, I think, is more than just a fight. Like, there's... Yeah.
Yep. This is that goodness. I'm all for it. Grab this one. Great number one. No barrier. Jump right in. Okay, I want to talk about the Dogs of London. Okay, so this is an interesting one, and stop me if you feel like I'm going too far on this one. Okay, so AfterShock, Peter Milligan, again, not an unknown by any means, and Artacita on art. Okay, so visually, you see this, right?
Yeah.
And it immediately invokes Good Boy vibes, right? Which is from SourcePoint Press, but the visual, which is, Good Boy is definitely like John Wick, but flipped from the dog's perspective.
Yeah.
But seeing a dog in a suit is kind of, especially in a, kind of murderous vibe.
Yeah.
Is kind of, it's a theme right now. And I kind of appreciate that someone else is tapping into that theme, but that's not what this story is under any circumstance. This is just a metaphor. But I really appreciate the somewhat nod, because that's how I'm taking it. It's a nod to say that Good Boy in SourcePoint Press is doing something really cool for another publisher to go, all right, we'll tap that just a little bit just to get that energy. So super dope.
Then you open it.
And this is deep.
Yeah.
This is deep.
1960s London gangs.
Right.
And that's the past.
Right.
Because there's a story that takes place now.
Buddy.
And to see the difference in the lives of these characters and how
they rise up.
Yeah.
But it's one of those cool things where again, seeing these characters, it's very character driven, which I think is really important. And seeing how these guys function in this underworld setting, and how, as oftentimes the best stories show, even if you're a part of the underworld, you're not necessarily bad.
Yeah.
Yes, there are bad guys, but that doesn't make you one of them just because you're doing these bad things. And you have, criteria, hierarchies, and wonderful measures that you're supposed to live by, these very specific rules.
Yeah. The fact that they can't do certain things.
Right.
Or else they have results that are, and the way they attack each other in very specific ways to cause the most damage financially and structurally,
but not physically per se. And it's something magical that only a writer like Peter could really kind of handle, because if we were to tell you that this was somewhat of a Romeo and Juliet love affair in 1960s London, is that a book that you would have picked up?
No.
I wouldn't have either. And I have to be honest about that. Like, if just on that pitch alone, I'd be like, all right, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But Peter frames it in a way where I'm like, what is this?
Go on.
And I'm here, like.
And by the jump to the modern times, I need to know how we go from that to that.
Yes.
Because there's huge changes in the standings of these people.
Yep.
That's not how the romance I thought would go. Yeah, no, it's, and then the Milligan twist at the end,
which is so good.
Yeah,
so good. I can't wait to see where this goes.
Right,
this is kind of an amazing one. Again, AfterShock, y'all know, like, highly recommend. They know how to tell stories. They tell stories wonderfully. In fact, I got a buddy that he's a filmmaker, and I literally was just having lunch with him the other day, and I was pitching to him that, like, hey, we should get you in touch with AfterShock to see about translating some of your screenplays into comics. I think they would jump at you. So I'll be in touch, guys. I'll be in touch. Okay, last but not least, on the good reads that you should read. Okay. Flashpoint Beyond, issue 1.
Jeff Johns, Adams, Sheridan, Jeremico, Ferrato Jr. This, what frustrates me the most about this book is that I feel like it is doing a better job of doomsday clocking than Doomsday Clock.
Why is that?
I don't know. It feels like with this, they're just letting Johns go crazy.
Right.
And since he's playing in that other universe, he doesn't have to worry about continuity.
Well, but okay.
But he still is. Like it's
right. Like that's the thing. Like because you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Like he's able to go back to a well that he helped build and pull more things from it from a very interesting perspective. Yeah. Obviously, if you've read or watched Flashpoint the movie, you have an understanding of what was supposed to happen. Yeah. Or not supposed to happen, I guess, by virtue of that story. So to go back and rearrange it even further is even more magical and super fun. Obviously, I think the person that is responsible for this one is that person. I
don't trust him.
I don't either. I love the security measure. Yeah. I was like, yo,
that makes sense.
Ballin'. What a smart move. Now that something like that is on your radar, you're like, nah, we gotta fix that.
Yeah.
We gotta fix that.
I love Thomas Wayne as Batman. The tortured aspect and see where his mind went.
Right.
The interactions between Aquaman and Wonder Woman, because in their world, this world, they went a different.
They did, man. Okay, so based on the way that this plays, was Aquaman a player? Considering what he's, they were involved. There was an entanglement.
Yes.
Okay, clearly, right? To use modern parlance.
Yeah.
There was an entanglement. But it seems like when it comes down to it, he was less...
Yeah. Or was that just the meanest parting shot?
Man, that's brutal, though.
Yeah. But if it's true, though, I don't know if that's worse.
I think it's worse if it's true. Ooh. Yeah. This whole world is very colorful.
I love it. It's like when Spider-Gwen with Marvel, where we know everybody, but we don't know everybody. And that familiarity really helps pull you in as it's different. Like, really good.
Absolutely. I dig that completely. So obviously, these are good reads that you should read, and we do mean that, right? Mm-hmm. Like literally, the argument for any of these to be on the must-read list was high.
Yeah.
And when we say these are the worst of the best, you are absolutely getting your money's worth with all of these books. And they're all number ones.
Yeah.
So it's a jumping on point right before Free Comic Book Day. What better gift is there than that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe what we have on our
because these...
Woo! Okay. So must-read-wise, we have only one that's different.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do you want to start?
Because you grabbed Nubia. Okay, that was one I was interested in. Nubia, Coronation, the one-shot.
Yeah. Okay. Who didn't work on this? I didn't work on this. I think I'm the only one that didn't. Stephanie Williams and Vita Ayala are writers. Marguerite Sauvage, Colleen Durant, Daryl Banks, our own local hero, Daryl Banks, Jill Thompson, and Aletha Martinez. So many people worked on this one. We bounce around almost in different types of stories, which is very interesting. Yeah. Where we are seeing Nubia, who is now queen of all Amazons, right? That's what the Coronation special is all about, is her being this. I will tell you that what DC is doing right now is one of the coolest, wisest things that I've ever seen. Because again, as a publisher, paying any sort of homage to another publisher, they are taking the Wonder Woman franchise and kind of Black Panthering it. By way of having there's this isolated nation that's super advanced. The big hook of things is finding out that there are 3 tribes of Amazons.
Which makes so much more sense.
Genius. literal genius. And now these tribes are being brought under one umbrella of this queen, who, interestingly enough, is not from either of the three lands.
Yeah.
She's actually from Man's Land. So, crazy dope. Handpicked by Hippolyta herself. And this is cool. So, you have the nation of the Amazons.
Yeah.
But still, technically, the Black Panther of them would be the Wonder Woman title.
Yeah.
Right? So, that's something totally different. You still have your Wonder Girl. You have Troya. Like, all these different characters that still kind of exist. Right? But still under this now flourishing utopia, and that are aiming to change man's world. There's a conversation, and Daryl did the artwork for this one, so it really hit home for me. But it's so brilliant because this is who she's actually conversing with.
Okay,
and they have a very honest conversation about what it looks like for people who look like them, whether artificially or naturally, and their place when it comes to dispensing justice in this world, and how maybe it'll be received well, maybe it won't, but this is part of the burden of what we accept by being heroes in this space. It's so very like, this is big conversation. This is not just, I want to change man's world. It's like, let me tell you why man's world actually sucks. But we're still here. Yeah. We're still here to change it.
That's a really interesting...
I dug it. I dug it a lot. This new era of Wonder Woman, I think, is going to be very interesting. Super inclusive in a way that, not that Wonder Woman has never been, but even more so. Yeah. Which is the best part. Like, they've taken it and then bumped it up. I dare somebody to come through who's like, they're just trying to be woke. Stop.
Yeah. That's...
Right.
So frustrating. Because what happens... People say that about every book that isn't the same as everything else, and like I've said it before, I can blindfold myself, spin around in a circle 52 times or whatever, so I get dizzy, and walk into a character that's like me.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah.
Right. So to create something else just builds on that dynamic. Yeah. And again, you guys aren't losing Diana as Wonder Woman. Like, you're not.
Well, I mean, she's dying for Dark Crisis.
But that's different. That's different.
But it's not like they're just replacing her with somebody else.
Like, that's because she's still very much the Wonder Woman right here.
This is an expansion of the Amazonian mythos in DC.
And that's beautiful. Like, I mean, now you have like 3 different tribes. Yeah. Like, there's one tribe that we've gotten some stories from. There's 2 more that untouched. Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So this is going to make Wonder Woman that much more special.
Oh, heck yeah. Alrighty. I went with Star Wars Obi-Wan #1.
That's right.
I had forgotten until I had sat myself down that Christopher Cantwell was writing it.
Well.
Yeah. So we got artist Ario Andito, who usually does a lot of covers, but getting to see the interiors.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh, it's so nice because it's like this. Because who do they have on the colors? Because they pair up Carlos Lopez on colors, and they pair up so nicely that it gives you this sort of half painted, half pencil.
Right.
It's just
good.
Breathtaking. It takes place. The initial main story takes place on Tatooine. Obi-Wan is closer to who he is in A New Hope in terms of age, and he's just kind of there, and you're seeing him act as he would, where he's just like, he's used to waiting and being patient and watching out for stuff, and he's really fascinated by this incoming sandstorm. And then it cuts to him wistfully thinking about the past, and it's a story about him as a young kid at the Jedi Temple and a friend of his who wanted to go a different direction.
Ooh.
Like they felt they had another calling in life.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like a misadventure on Coruscant, and it builds to where there's a new character. I could easily see this new character showing up at some point relatively soon, and which I kind of half wonder, because Marvel, the comics, and Disney and Star Wars work so well together now.
Right.
Like each segment, each medium for that world. So is it possible that they're building something for the Obi-Wan television series, which is starting here pretty soon? Because and then just anytime I see young Yoda, or young Yoda.
Young Yoda, right.
Which is awesome. And then it comes back to him at New Hope time and him think, it's really, really cool. Awesome. Christopher Cantwell is an amazing writer.
Indeed.
And Dito and everybody else involved in this book, it's just gorgeous.
Time arcs.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
It feels like the Star Wars. I grew up with that kind of vibe to it. So if you're a middle-aged person, this is 100% for you. It's really, really cool. And
it's your jam.
Yeah.
Check it out. Where do you want to go next? Because I don't know.
There are two radically different books.
Yes.
One of which is this breathtaking fairy tale that is all ages can read. Okay. Yeah, I apologize.
Twig number 1, Scotty Young, Kyle Stram, Jean-Francois Beaulieu, and Nate, the genius letter of all things. God, I love the letters in this book.
Yeah.
Like, Nate, you know how to bring story to life with the words. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but guys, if you aren't a letterer, it's one of those art skills that literally gets overlooked and you don't realize how great it is until you see someone do it poorly. And then you're like, oh.
Yeah. Because the way this conversation here,
man.
Any other letterer who just kind of phoned it in, you would lose the vibe of this character's voice. Like literally the voice of the character I had in my head because of it.
I love it. I literally love it. This is the never-ending story, but done by Jim Henson.
Yeah. Yeah, these would all be like practical effects puppets.
Immediately, right? Like, so amazing. Okay, here's the crazy part. We don't get a full understanding of this world under any circumstance. But it is fascinating to see these alien I don't know if that's fair to say.
They're not human,
right?
And they're all different. Like I don't know that we've seen two of the same species.
I mean, these are kind of close, but they're different. I don't know.
The thing is, the word choice it is not proper.
Right.
The thing is, I don't care. Like I'm in this world.
Right.
I'm already invested. Just continue building on it.
Yeah.
Because it's got a little bit of Fraggle Rockiness with the
dude. It does.
Yeah.
It does. But, oh my god,
man! Like I want to know where these people are going. This character felt like it was something super, super important to this world.
Very important, and to see how potentially unmanaged that importance has been. So here's the funny thing. So this is an Image comic, right?
Yes.
I've never wanted an Image comic to be an AfterShock comic so bad because AfterShock for their number ones will have like extra material in the back that kind of explain the world a little bit, and I wanted that so bad, and I was like, wait, where? I mean, there's some cool behind the scenes stuff. But no, I want more expo. I gotta wait till next issue. Yeah. This was fun. This is really fun.
Because it's this magical journey where this person gets a new job in this most fantastical way of like, you go to this thing that's kind of like a mine, but it's not.
It's so not.
And here's something they found there, and your job is to take this to this person who will tell you exactly what to do with it. And it's this magical journey there, and it's so fun. It's something that entertained the crap out of me, and I am a jaded Gen Xer. And this is something that I feel like I could read to like my nieces or nephews, like younger kids.
Yeah.
And it speaks to all those age ranges without talking down or talking up at. It's so good. And of all the times Scotty Young has created stuff that like has presented as all ages until you read it, you're like, oh God, no. This is the opposite. Right. Like this is so...
It fits. It fits so well that I almost feel like having the traditional comic book format, and I know you guys as a store don't necessarily love this, but I can't wait for an 11/17 version of this.
Just like a big tome.
Yeah, because it's so beautiful. Like, you just want to look at it. Like, come on. You can't tell me that a blown-up version of this...
That would be amazing.
It would go on my wall.
How is this not already optioned?
That's what I'm saying.
Because, like, there's a television animated series or movie
It's built into this.
This whole, like, all these lands.
Right?
I want to go to there. That one especially. Like, I feel like
what is
there's
that?
just something cool.
I want to know what it is. That's what this, like, this does feel like a pitch deck that he just made a comic out of.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't, but amazing. This is gorgeous.
And I think, this is going to sound weird, I think it is also part of the Image guarantee to where, like, stores can strip cover. So
you can't go wrong with that. You cannot go wrong with that. That's a great one. Okay.
The opposite end of the spectrum. Still really, really good, but
amazing, but desolate. Avengers Forever, issue 5. Jason Aaron. Toe in toe.
Yeah. The big thing people are talking about from this issue online, it's the Planet of the Man things, the Man Thing Avengers. But did you miss the other 97% of the book with just the bleakest?
No. I'm glad that they're not talking about that, because to hear about that might fearfully sway people away from buying it, because they're like, I can't take that kind of pain. I don't want that kind of darkness.
Well, think of it more of like job recruiting, like
like no.
Indeed, like Indeed.com for the multiverse.
We'll put it like this. Okay, so in previous issues of this multiversal mashup series, we had characters like the Black Skull, which takes the Red Skull and gives them a Venom symbiote. And that sounds terrifying.
It does.
Until you realize what evil really would look like, and how the Red Skull is just... he's a schoolyard bully in comparison to what this is.
Because some of these combos are... like,
they're wild. They are wild.
Like child Thanos Loki?
Right?
Like, what? No.
That's dangerous. This Wolverine-ish thing.
I can't look at it.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. Okay, is this Destiny?
I think.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That is not okay.
Yeah. Because there's that. I don't know if... is that the... I think it's Destroyer.
So, what... okay, based on the name that they give it, right? Where are you at? I know it's in here. Because they say who's in it, but my concern is that that person that's in it is wearing that armor. Yeah, and that to me would be problematic. I would say that that's not good for anyone. Where did it go? I know I saw it on there. But yeah, just in general, oh god, darkness.
Okay, so Jason Aaron, they almost could have just made this the Avengers run,
right?
Like cut to that, because it's going to tie back in at some point. I mean, it has to. And so for this segment of the story, it's the Doom above all Doom, and his crew of evil, worst case scenarios.
Yes.
And they're just going from universe to universe, wiping out like
anything that's worth goodness. Any form of goodness, they just kill it because they can.
Yeah.
That's dark.
It is. But Doom's got another agenda.
Doom always does.
Because everybody else is just like they're just like your typical evildoers, like, oh, I claimed this world for myself.
Mine.
Perhaps this one has the token of whatever. And Doom's just like, no, I'm good.
And they're like, don't you care? And he's like, nah, it's fine. It's whatever. Because he has a plan, and his plan is so much bigger and darker than anything. What he does here is, I don't know that I've seen anything that's that bleak in comics. And we've literally seen like characters wipe out half of existence.
Yeah.
Whatever. This is way worse because it's personal.
Yeah.
And it's personal in a way that you can't understand how personal it is, because it is impossible for you to experience what he's talking about.
Yeah. And when you realize and see what he's talking about,
the doomiest of dooms. Like,
but I still don't know what his full, like,
I don't know if I want to.
Because it makes Thanos look like Tinker Toys.
Like Thanos?
I'm even like...
that chump, he's got nothing. Literally nothing.
Darkseid even. I'm like
no, like this is why Doom is a problem. This is why in Hickman's run, and they express how every Reed that's in the Council of Reeds, the first thing that they do is they capture their Dooms.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, it doesn't matter where they are, Doom is a problem.
Yeah. And this one.
That is the...
And it was horrible. It was horrible.
And then it gets worse.
That page turn, and I was just
that's way worse. That is way worse. That's Doom on a celestial level.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
No, that's good.
Nope. All bad.
Where does it go? Like,
I don't know.
Where does the story go?
Because that's just the most ridiculous level of, guess what? You're never going to beat this evil. It will outlast you forever because Doom is forever.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Avengers Forever, issue 5, lives up to its name. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, my God. Obviously, we hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you have, and you've watched all the way to the end, I hope you click that thumbs up because we need that for the algorithm and all those cool things.
And also, we do this every week.
Yeah.
Hit subscribe. And in fact, hit the bell.
Yeah.
And we'll let you, well, I'm not going to let you know, but
you
do.
will. No, we will absolutely. We will personally drop this in your DMs and we'll be like, hey, psst, we're here.
Yep.
Come play with us. Let's talk about comics together.
Like the two twins from The Shining.
I mean, I would wear that outfit with you.
Hell, I got the legs for it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
Yeah. Read comics.